All right, guys, we're here. It's the final box. It's box number 1, although it was the one that got the least amount of votes. I'm going to cut it open. Obviously, so these mystery boxes have really been a mixed bag. The first box was a lot of common titles. There was lots of damaged stuff. The second box had a lot of wrestling titles, some of which ended up being pretty rare. There were a couple regular DVDs that were actually good finds themselves. So the second box is definitely the star so far. Now it's time for the last one. I'm recording this on, what day is it? Saturday, whatever the last Saturday in May is, before Memorial Day. Now I will say, right away I notice there's not much on top in this box. I also don't feel many cases that are shorter than the rest, so I'm hoping there are Blu-rays in here. Like I said, we got no Blu-rays the first one. There's only like one title at the top. So we got one Blu-ray in the second box, no Blu-rays in the last box. Hopefully this one has some Blu-rays. So let's see, there's one title on the top. All right, this is how we're starting already. Like I wanna peek. Okay, so it looks like there's gonna be more wrestling, guys. And once again, I don't see any Blu-rays. So we'll see what the deal is with this box. But the first thing here is D-Generation X, One Last Stand. So we're in wrestling stuff already from Stacey Davis again. The lady who likes to write her stuff. We're looking at Scratched. So, a bit of a bummer. Not the way I wanted to start out, but hopefully it gets better. Next up, WWE Ladder Match. I used to own this DVD. Not written on, but also the first disc is mint. The plastic is cracked. It doesn't have the book that it's supposed to come with. Disc 3 is mint. Well, at least this 2 has a couple minor scratches. But like I said, if you look at this, plastic is broken. It doesn't have the little booklet there. But looks like we're in line for some more WWE stuff in this package. Next up is a movie. I've never seen this one. Stars Jack Nicholson. Also has Kathy Bates, Hope Davis, and that is About Schmidt. Like I said, I've never seen this movie. Don't know much about it. It's in scruffy shape. Not great, not awful. And it's time for the wrestling again. So what do we got here? WWE SummerSlam. This from 2003 it looks like. With, is that Sable? Sable on the front cover there. So it looks like we got another wrestling heavy box. We got WWE WrestleMania 19. And this is part of like when they would do the set at the end of the year. And like the spines would spell out the year across them. So this is a fantastic pay-per-view. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar is the main event of that one. Classic movie here. Full screen. Mean Girls. Have this one on Blu-ray. Like I said, Mean Girls is a fantastic movie. Like I said, that is the full screen copy. Next up, we have a Blockbuster rental case. This being a rental exclusive of 500 Days of Summer, another great romantic comedy. This is a great movie. I have that on Blu-ray as well. So far, wrestling and common DVDs. This is a movie I keep trying to find on Blu-ray, but it's like a MOD Blu-ray. I believe I have the unrated version of this on DVD. This DVD is horribly scratched. And that is Not Another Teen Movie. Funny movie. So that's it for, like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of titles in this case. Next up, a TV series. We have American Horror Story, Season 1. I've only watched one season of this, and it was Cult, which I believe was on like 2 years ago Wonder what kind of condition these discs are in. Yeah, I mean, not scratched again. Yeah, it's a bummer that there's no like quality control over the disc. I will say it's a bit disappointing when it comes to what's in these boxes. This case feels like, as I say, this case has that nice clean feel to it. So I was hoping it was a good gold mine movie, something like a diamond in the rough. But it is Taken, a very common DVD, a good movie, but a very common DVD to find, not a rare or better title. A lot of people probably own that in their collections already. You got Yes Man with a Mid-Atlantic jewelry and pawn sticker on the back for $2. Yes Man on DVD. I own this on Blu-ray. I enjoy this movie. Zooey Deschanel and of course Jim Carrey. Another classic movie. This just came to 4K this past week when I'm recording this. And this being the original DVD print of this, I believe. Yeah, this came out in '98. And that is Top Gun, the 1986 release. Still has the original book and everything. Disc actually looks mint. So that's cool. Like I said, the original Top Gun release. I believe it's the original release. So that is a cool title there. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep track of how many things we get like I've been doing. Here's a fantastic movie. This is cool. The widescreen with the slipcover, the special edition of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like I said, it is the widescreen version. What does it come with here? Got some advertisements. That's why there's so much weight. I was like, this DVD is very hefty. DVD is pretty beat up, which is a shame because it's cool with the slip and everything. But you got Fast Times at Ridgemont High there. A fantastic R-rated comedy from the early 80s. This case feels nice and clean. A Dollar Tree title, Wilfred. I actually own this. I think I own both seasons maybe on DVD. I know I definitely own season 1. The case is busted. Like I said, this is a Dollar Tree. Why can't I open this? This being a Dollar Tree title, knowing my luck, it's probably mint because it's a Dollar Tree title. So what do we got? Yep. So Wilfred season 1. I still haven't watched this show, but this is in mint condition. The case is all kind of busted up, but like I said, I've never seen this one. I do want to check it out sometime. I heard really good things about it. At least there's not as much wrestling in this box as the last one. The full screen version of Music and Lyrics with Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. I really liked this movie back in the day when I saw it. I think I saw it in theaters or maybe when it first came out to DVD. But I remember really liking this. I thought that Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant had really good chemistry in the film. Also stars Brad Garrett and Kristen Johnston. So Music and Lyrics, that being the full screen version. My favorite comedy of all time. This is I believe the original release of this movie. And just a fantastic comedy movie starring Bill Murray, starring Harold Ramis, John Candy, and that is Stripes. And there's stuff all over the disc. It is a flipper disc, full screen and widescreen. Yeah, not in great shape. It has like weird specks all over it. You got Stripes there. So I was kind of torn, thinking about the idea of maybe buying more of these boxes, but they've recently announced that basically they're going to start lightening the in-house quarantine rules. So I'm hoping that you know, by the time this video drops, things will be closer to normal in Pennsylvania. Hopefully going back to work in the near future. You know, fingers crossed on that. Maybe actually getting to go flea marketing and yard sailing, but we shall see. Next up, the Walmart version of Zack and Miri, this being a 2-disc edition. You may ask, how do I know it's the Walmart version? Because of the title of the movie, just being Zack and Miri. The full title of this movie is Zack and Miri Make a Porno. But this is the 2-disc version. The second disc has Comic-Con, webisodes, the making of the film, outtakes, so a bunch of bonus features on the second disc of that. I love Zack and Miri. It's a Kevin Smith movie. I actually really enjoy the movie. Next up, the widescreen anniversary edition of Edward Scissorhands. So this is basically like the first box and second box combined. We have very common DVDs that are in not so great shape. I think I've seen one disc so far being Top Gun that was mint, Wilford being mint, a couple TV series, and then some wrestling. Not a ton of wrestling, but some. Here's the Blu-ray that I saw, the most common Blu-ray ever, and that is Dark Knight. Everybody owns this movie. It is incredibly common. Let's see what kind of condition. We got fingerprints all over the first disc of Dark Knight, but it doesn't look like scratches. The bonus features of Dark Knight is minty fresh, and then there's the DVD, which is basically just the digital copy, and that looks mint too. So it looks like just one Blu-ray again in the box, and that is Dark Knight. Like I said, the most common. Ooh, what are the odds of this being mint? If this is mint, which yeah, it's Stacey Davis's, so I know it's not going to be mint, but this is probably one of the most sought after WWF DVDs. A fantastic pay-per-view. The Rock vs. Stone Cold as the main event. TLC 2. We got WrestleMania 17, the 2-disc WWF version. This is horribly, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's try to get an angle. It looks nice and mint in the camera, but it's pretty badly scratched. There's some deep scratches. Writing on the discs. Both discs are pretty heavily scratched, so that is a big bummer, because if that was mint, that might pay for the entire box. We have another WWE pay-per-view, this time SummerSlam 05 with Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. If I'm not mistaken, it's the match where Shawn Michaels oversells the entire thing. This isn't horrible. There are some scratches on it. Stacey Davis writing her name on the discs again, but we got that. Next up feels like another WWE box set, and that is WrestleMania 25, which I believe, own on DVD already. Let's see what kind of condition. Missing the book again. Some scratches again. And this comes with the Hall of Fame as well. The Hall of Fame disc looks to be like pretty mint. Probably was never watched. I mean, this isn't bad, but there are some scratches. It's missing the booklet. So you got WrestleMania 25 there. Excuse me. Another box set type thing. WrestleMania 24. This looks to be in pretty rough shape. Yep. Scratches again on the DVDs. The third disc is mint. The second disc and first disc have light scratches. But WrestleMania 24, if I remember, this is a good card as well. Edge versus Undertaker, Big Show versus Floyd Mayweather, Orton versus Triple H versus Cena for a title, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. So definitely really good matches on this card. Also is the Hall of Fame, where Ric Flair got put into the Hall of Fame, and some others like The Rock's dad. So, WrestleMania 24. All right, another WWE pay-per-view. This one being TLC 2012. Got Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, and AJ Lee on the front. Few light scratches again. So now we're gonna get heavy into wrestling again. Is that, yep. WWE Money in the Bank 2013. I'm just hoping for like some mint ones because I found out after I opened that last box and did some research that WWE pay-per-views can go for some good money on DVD. You got CM Punk on the front there. This is actually mint condition, so that is nice to see. At least, you know, that one's in good shape. Might have some resale value. I don't usually keep WWE pay-per-views on physical. I do have some of the WrestleManias in my collection, but not a lot. Next up, I've never seen this movie. It is a Ridley Scott film starring Russell Crowe, Marion Cotillard, Freddie Highmore, and Albert Finney, and that is A Good Year. I don't know much about this. It looks like it was used from Hollywood Video, so I'm guessing it was resurfaced. So not a lot of scratches, but you can tell it's a resurfaced disc. Ooh, I own this, I believe. If not, I might actually keep this if it's in good condition. We got ECW One Night Stand from 2006. This was a great pay-per-view. Light scratches on disc 1. Disc 2, which is the December to Dismember. Is that... That has some fingerprints. I don't think that's what the set was originally. I'll have to do some research. December to Dismember came out in like... Is that 06? I don't know. I'll have to look into this, but this pay-per-view was really good. Cena versus Rob Van Dam, Mysterio versus Sabu. There's a match with Edge, Lita, Mick Foley, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk. So some really good wrestling matches on this. That's a pretty cool find. But I'll have to see if there was a real second disc or if somebody just made it their own custom double pack. What is this? The Americanization of Emily. James Garner, Julie Andrews, and Mevlin Douglas. Huh. It's a Warner Brothers release. It's scratched up, of course. I was hoping it would be mint. But I always think that when I come across something like this, it could have some value. I don't think it's anything necessarily that I'd be interested in. But it might be out of print. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of this one? Like, that's a standout. That's something different, not typical compared to a lot of what's in these boxes. What do we got here? Inception. Yep. Inception on DVD. This was the other thing I was expecting to maybe come across on Blu-ray. Another very common Blu-ray. The DVD's probably mint for this because, yep, a couple tiny scratches, but Inception on DVD there. And we're into the last row already, guys. Like I said, it's going to be close to 50. I feel like it might even be shy a couple. We got a snapper. What snapper is it? Stealing Home with Mark Harmon and Jodie Foster. Looks like it has some water damage. Oof. There's scratches on the top of the DVD. Yeah. Man. Yeah, so there's not a lot of like quality control on these boxes. So this was a pawn shop DVD that looks to be in pretty rough shape. So basically, I don't think I'm going to buy another one of these boxes. I'm hoping that we'll be able to go back to Second and Charles in its regular capacity soon, and I can just pick out what I want. The mystery boxes were fun for something to do when I couldn't leave the house, but basically what it's given me is a lot of stuffy common DVDs, some decent shaped common DVDs. You know, like I said, the wrestling pay-per-views might at least allow me to get my money back, but they're fun. it is fun to do what I'm doing with these. Definitely added a couple movies to a collection, but that was out of 3 boxes. You know, but the quality control on these boxes is pretty disappointing. I watched another YouTuber's video, Triple Feature Creature, where he unboxed one of these, and the condition was really good of them. So I've definitely not seen that in these boxes. I would say at least a third of the boxes, a third of each box is damaged DVDs. They're just going to be put in the trash because they're pretty scuffed. We got Kate and Leopold here. Never have seen that, but that too is pretty scratched. This feels like a big set of something. The Winds of War. This almost looks fake. I don't think this is real. I mean, the discs. The artwork of this is definitely not real. The artwork of this was printed off on a printer. It's not like, ugh, and it was a smoker. Oof. So the artwork of this was not legit. The discs seem to be legit, but like I said, you can tell a smoker owned that. As soon as I took it out, it wafted at me. Let's see what kind of condition. This one has some light scratches. So it's a Paramount release. Disc 2 has some light scratches. Maybe there's some value for just the discs, because I wouldn't sell it with the artwork, because the artwork is not legitimate artwork. Disc 3 looks mint. So it's like a 6-disc set. Disc 4, light scratches. So I would sell this in like very good condition on eBay. Disc 5. Once again, a few light scratches. And disc 6, so some light scratches. So I've never heard of this. The Winds of War. It features The Wind Rises, The Storm Breaks, Of Love and War, Cataclysm, Defiance, The Changing of the Guard, and Into the Maelstrom. But you can tell they're actual legit Paramount DVDs. You can tell it was a Paramount release. But this is not like legit artwork. It's reprinted artwork. The artwork stinks like cigarettes. So maybe this might have some value for the disc-only aspect of it, but not something, it looks like not something that I'd be interested in. We have another snapper case here. Sour Grapes, starring Steven Weber and Craig Bierko. Never have heard of this. DVD's actually in pretty good shape, although the artwork is a little rough for the wear. Cousins and Best Pals. Richie figures he owes his cousin Evan 50 cents. Evan figures it's more like over $218,000. So it looks to be like a comedy film of some sort. Written and directed by Larry David of Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm fame. So maybe I'll look into this. This might be something I keep and watch. Have you guys seen this movie before? Like I said, it needs a wipe down. The snapper case has definitely seen better days. Written and directed by Larry David is kind of intriguing, though. I'll set that in a different pile. What do we got here? This looks like a bootleg, too. This is a bootleg. Once again, bootleg artwork for the whole 9 yards, but with the legit DVD of the whole 9 yards. Very weird. Like, I hope there's not more bootleg stuff in here. That would kind of really frustrate me. I might have to reach out to Second and Charles if there's more. Conspiracy. The Trial of the Chicago 8, starring Peter Boyle, Elliot Gould, Robert Carradine, and Michael Lembeck. They're actually supposed to make a new movie about the Chicago 8. I want to say it stars Sacha Baron Cohen and some other big names. this could be a cool find. Mint. So this might be a score. It could also be a DVD that's like $1, very common. But it's in a different style, like an older style case. This is from 1998, so it's an old school release. Maybe this has some value to it, but not something I think I want to watch. But the disc seems to be pretty mint. It's from 1987. It says it's a documentary, but Martin Sheen and Robert LaJoya and Peter Boyle and Elliot Gould are all in that. So who knows? That might be a cool find there. Nothing for me so far. Ugh, what is this? Aquaria, the Classic Museum. Yeah, so this is just like a museum or a aquarium video where you can watch just footage of aquariums. That's like a very dollar. Of course, that's mint. A very like dollar store find, in my opinion. Something like that is something you'd find at a flea market for $1 or 50 cents. Next up, what do we got here? Fantastic Golf movie. I don't own this. I don't know if this is on Blu-ray. What are the odds of this being nice? I can add it to my collection if it's nice. Oh, guys. Resurfaced. And can you guys see? There you go. There you go. Get some of that scratch action. I might as well. This was used as a hockey puck. Like, you can tell it was resurfaced, and it looks like they just like scratched the ever-living life out of that. So I would have added that to my collection if it wasn't on Blu-ray, but that's going in the garbage. Like I said, lots of stuff's going to end up in the trash. We got a slipcover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith full screen. Like I said, a very common DVD, and once again another full screen, and the slipcover is in pretty rough shape. But in the first box, I will say there was some cool slipcovers with DVDs, not so much in the other two boxes. This feels like a gross case. What do we got here? A gross case for a gross movie. We got Lord of the Rings, this being an old Blockbuster case. I can only imagine. Yep, scratched up. This is the Fellowship of the Ring, the first of the Lord of the Rings films. It is at least the widescreen, I will say that. It's not in awful shape. It's in a lot better shape than some of the other stuff I've looked at. Lord of the Rings. So we're getting, like I said, lots of common DVDs, a few cool things, but nothing like mind-blowing. This just came out on 4K. This is cool, the widescreen with the slipcover. Look at the original price there. War of the Worlds, $28.99. Let's see. Man, I don't get people who trash their stuff like this. That's why, like, people are like, why don't you put stuff in binders? I'm like, no, because you get this scratched up. And this isn't even like binder scratches. This is just people not taking care of their stuff. Another bootleg. Yep, this is a bootleg. Move Over Darling. This is a bootleg through and through. You can tell it's a sticker placed on the disc. It's highly scratched up. The artwork's printed out. So, I'm not a fan of the this box with the bootleg artwork, the fake movies. Like, that's not good. Shouldn't be sold, in my opinion, in a box. But I guess when you're paying 50 cents a title, they think that doesn't matter. We got Under Fire with Nick Nolte and Gene Hackman. This is in a Blockbuster rental case. And I would say mediocre condition, except for the fact the center of the disc is cracked. So that is another, man, this is probably the most disappointing box, because there has been good stuff, but the condition has just been brutal. There's been bootleg stuff. So like I said, I was thinking about buying more of these, honestly, because they're making for fun videos. But you know, as long as we stay in the yellow and go to green and things become more normal, I'm just going to wait till Second Charles opens back up. We We have the full screen version of Unfaithful there, a movie I own on Blu-ray that I've never seen. But like I said, that's the full screen DVD. We got probably like 5 or 6 more left. Fantastic film. I own this on Blu-ray. Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. Also Christopher Walken, Martin Sheen are in this movie. Fantastic film for sure. The widescreen version. This is what? Christmas with the Cranks. I'm trying to guess by the back cover. This is a fun Christmas movie. It's not amazing, but it's a fun watch. Jamie Lee Curtis, Tim Allen, Dan Aykroyd. It's a fun watch. I enjoy this movie. I don't know if I necessarily own it, but it's a fun watch. I'll watch it if it's on TV during Christmas time. What we got here? I Shot Andy Warhol, a Hollywood Express rental in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I am expecting, has a rental sticker on it. Yeah, you got some deep scratches on this bad boy. The center's starting to split a little. So yeah, this box is definitely not a good box. We got another snapper, this time the classic National Lampoon's Vacation. I obviously own this on Blu-ray as it is a fantastic comedy film. I love the National Lampoon movies. So we got that there. And I think we're close to 50, but man, oh man, this is the first Pirates movie. So this is exactly what I envisioned, was bad damage, lots of common stuff, Meet the Parents. This is another pawn shop release. At least it is widescreen, but not going to be good. And last but not least, the last thing out of a mystery box, Fun with Dick and Jane. So, not happy with this box, guys. Between the bootleg stuff, the horribly scratched stuff, let's see, 37... 41, 44, 49. So not even 50 items in this box. Scratch stuff, bootleg stuff. Not happy with this box. I will probably actually let Second Charles know too that there weren't 50 titles in here. And on top of that, the bootleg artwork and bootleg movies, not the aquarium, but like the bootleg artwork, the bootleg film. There's also the whole 9 yards, which is somewhere in here, which has bootleg artwork with the actual disc. So are these boxes worth buying after opening 3 of them? If you're looking for something fun, absolutely. If you're looking for something kind of different, something, if you're a movie fan and you don't really care about condition, if you're a collector that's not as particular as I am, if a DVD has like 1 or 2 minor light scratches and it's something I don't come across very often, I will go ahead and keep it. But like I said, between the 3 boxes, I'm probably going to end up throwing out, I would say maybe like 60 to 80 titles because they're horribly scratched, just like unable to be used. The cases aren't even like nice clean cases that I could keep and reuse down the line. So the wrestling stuff is cool, but condition is definitely an issue. And so are they worth buying? For $25, if you're looking for something fun to do, maybe looking to make a YouTube video or just add some movies to the collection. Maybe if you have the mind frame of buying it and selling all this stuff for $1 at a flea market. But once again, when you come across like Fun with Dick and Jane that is water damaged artwork and the disc, I'm guessing, this one's not horrible, but a lot of these discs were horribly scratched. In my opinion, it's not worth it. Was this fun? Yes, absolutely. Were there some cool things in here? Yes, there was some stuff I didn't expect. The Americanization of Emily was a cool thing. Conspiracy, The Trial of the Chicago 8 was interesting. The Winds of War, if it had legit artwork, might have been a really, really neat find. Maybe it's very common and I'm just overreacting to it. So it's hit or miss. Like, I'm glad I did these videos. I thought they were fun. You guys seem to enjoy them. Will I be buying more mystery boxes? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm done. And so that's it, guys. So thank you for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys do not already. As of today, when I'm recording this, I'm at 2,190 subscribers, so just shy of 2,200. Maybe when this releases in a little over a week, I'll be at 2,200. But thank you for everyone new to the channel. Thank you for those of you who've been with the channel for a long time. What, 3 years now? It'll be 3 years this July. So thank you guys, and check out the description box down below where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, where I rate and review all the movies I watch, my eBay page, my blu-ray.com profile, my Amazon wish list, email address, P.O. box, all can be found in the description box down below of this video. And until next time, guys, who's down to movie?